My name is Mike Ortegon, and we're going to welcome you today to navigating seasonal surges. And what does that mean in today's world? We'll talk a little bit more about that today. Give another minute or so as for more folks to join. We'll just keep moving on. But first, to remind you, we're recording today's session so we can use this for learning experiences, and also just it's really good practice for us to go back and look at what we might be able to share more broadly for other attendees and that couldn't attend today. So again, first of all, my name is Mike Ortegon. I represent the travel space, former Expedian, and one of the goals today is to try to get two really good partners together, talk a little bit about how we navigate through the travel space during seasonality, especially when we know there's surges that sometimes happen. And you may recall just even a week ago, BA canceled 46 flights. So you can imagine the amount of phone calls and chats and all things going on within the various travel space that causes. So today we're going to try to talk a little bit about that, but also in planning for seasonality. So first, I'd like to welcome GuestReady to the panel, and yoummday as well. And I'll let them all, the team, introduce themselves to you first. So first, Kasia and Kate from GuestReady. Welcome to today's event, and give us a little background of who you are, what you do, and a little bit about who GuestReady are. So who wants to go first? Kasia?
Absolutely. Now
Perfect.
You can see everything is working. Welcome everyone, and thank you very much, Mike and yoummday, for giving us an opportunity to present today. We're very excited about being part of this chat today. So about myself, I'm Global Head of Operations. I work for GuestReady. GuestReady is the property management company, and we are managing the properties across 7 markets. We are leveraging technology, and we are also managing operations from different angles. So that includes distribution, operations, customer support, so guest experience, owner experience. And yes, and we're just here today also together with Kate. Kate is working together with me. So maybe Kate, I will just pass you the mic.
Yes, thank you, Kasia, and thank you, Mike and team, for having us here. It's a real pleasure. So my name is Kate. I'm head of customer service operations at GuestReady, working in the team of Kasia. What I oversee is the teams that support our guests that stay in the properties that we manage, as well as the teams that support the owners.
Thank you both for that. Charles, say a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Mike. I'm also very happy to be here. Hi, everyone. My name's Charles. I'm an operations manager at yoummday. I've been managing a project for a very well-known German airline for approximately a year now, and I'm really happy and excited to give some insights on my experience we've had now in the combination of this project and the yoummday model. So thanks for having me in.
I guess sort of the first question when talk about the GuestReady team is that there's probably 12 or 15, maybe 20 challenges you may have in your daily lives about managing clients, end users, travelers, guests, etc. But maybe focus on the top 3 challenges you have in planning for seasonality, which is today's topic. Who wants to go first? Kasia?
Absolutely. So definitely the biggest challenges that we are facing is when it comes to recruitment. So of course, this is highly seasonal business, and we want to make sure that we also maintain the highest score, the highest ratings. Currently, we pride ourselves for 4.8 on Trustpilot score, which is great, but this is something that is quite challenging when we are entering the high season. So I would say that the biggest challenge is, as mentioned, managing the workforce, meanwhile maintaining the highest quality.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, people obviously are the drivers and the face of the first line, face of the travelers, right? And so, Charles, maybe talk a little bit about the ways you've been able to work with your particular clients on how you manage those recruitment challenges that we all have had and have, especially during surges.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And I think a very, very relevant point. To start off, our marketplace of talents is always ready to go. We can act on demand. We know our experience or the experience and the skill of our several thousand talents on our platform. And as soon as we get the go, if there's a need there, our experienced recruiting team can ramp up in the space of a very, very, very few weeks. Especially obviously in the travel business where seasonality is a large topic. This is a huge benefit. I can give you the example from this well-known German airline project that I manage. We during the year have the situation that the need is relatively low. We have a talent team of say 25, 30 talents. And then when we come into high season, so coming up now, May, June, July, August, when things start to get really hot, we expand up to 80 to 100 talents, and we do this in the space of just a few weeks. In addition to this, maybe also very interesting to mention is our talents usually work about 25 hours a week. So they have a certain amount of excess capacity if short-term things come in, because I mean, peaks are usually quite well known, but you never know, a short-term issue like an outage or a strike or whatever can happen. In these situations, I can also tell you from experience, we were able to increase 150% in the space of 24 hours, I think. So these are just some of the benefits that we and our model, including the talent pool, offer here.
Hey, Charles, just real quickly, how do you mobilize, 150%? Like, I can't imagine someone just sending a bunch of, WhatsApps or texts or whatever. Give us a little color on how you might mobilize a team.
That's also a good question. Going a little more into depth here. We nearly have a task force, I would call it, which also scan the media. I mean, in Germany, strikes have been a topic the last 1 to 2 years, especially in that industry. And our team goes in, our team leaders go into their teams. They're very close to their teams. We have a platform where we communicate, mobilize the talents, and they manage to bring them in. Then motivation is obviously essential here. Our talents are highly motivated due to the increased pay now compared to competitors, and this in combination makes it very easy to bring in, say, a large amount of excess capacity in the space of 24 hours it was in that strike situation.
Got it. That's a great story. Kate, any thoughts on how you might have to mobilize, your teams in case you get these surges calls? Any tips or thoughts for those listening?
Yeah, definitely. So here, I think that at GuestReady we also face similar challenges to what Charles mentioned and his client in the travel industry. In those seasonal surges, we need to ramp up the operations pretty fast. So it's very important for us to have a very structured approach to recruitment, as we do this all in-house. Apart from that, one thing that is very important to us is the maintaining the quality, even when we have to ramp up very fast in order to handle the volumes. So training and managing quality is as well very, very important here. What we want ultimately is to keep those talents and really transform them into real talents that would support essentially our business goals. So yeah, training and quality is definitely very important here, and we invest a lot in that, which also helps the motivation of the talent. And if they feel like they're trusted with their work, that they can take ownership, that they have the support that they need from our side, I think that that can really help.
That makes sense. Kasia, any other insights? Thing to add?
I think Kate covered very, very well what we are working on together. And definitely we're running a lot of projects recently, also just like something, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're investing a lot into not only our in-house technology, but also searching for some tools and solutions that can speed up the responses and make sure that our teams are more effective and more productive. So we are also very much focused on that. We also hire new team members with senior profiles who are effectively looking for these tools. And of course, probably just like everyone is focused now on ChatGPT. This is probably like the one very important topic for everyone in the sector as well.
It's certainly the hot word of the week, the month, the year. It's just continuing. Everywhere you go, you're hearing it. But some reminder, to the audience, what is that AI has been around for a long time, right? And it's getting a lot of attention today. But I personally see it as a gap filler. Like, we're all struggling with talent, right? And there's this fear that this is going to take everybody's jobs away. But if you think about all the challenges that you all have in trying to find talent, what a great filler to help, increase that first call resolution, to help get that client the information they need, while then we could take the existing talent and upscale what they're doing to have those, cases need more of the human touch, et cetera. So anyway, we go on and on about this for hours, of course. So you talked a little bit about technology. What about the shift scheduling? Tell us a little bit about how that works and how that can be challenging at times too when you have these surges.
Right. So we also recently invested a lot of resources into making sure that our are great. So initially, of course, when we started, we've been working a lot with the Google Sheets and simple forecasting models. But as our teams are growing and we want to also be more agile and be more responsive when it comes to seasonal surges, we are also investing more into this topic. We have recently, actually in June, we will be launching a new project which is aimed to implement a tool which also brings not only better shift adjustment, but also it gives a lot of flexibility for the team, for the agents, to understand how actually just like they're assigned to the shifts, so they can also work together to reassign, to communicate with us. So this is like a very interesting tool that Kate together with her team will be implementing.
Oh, fantastic. Anything else to add to that, Kate?
Yeah, I just want to add again and emphasize that workforce management planning is really challenging in our industry, not only because of the seasonality. Seasonality is quite easy to predict. We have high season in the summer, especially in the markets around Europe that we operate in, but there's other events that affect travel. So these are really difficult to predict. They happen at the last moment. So we really need to be very flexible here. At the same time, ensuring scalability and not being too reactive with recruitment. So we need to make sure that our workforce planning is really on point in order to be able to maintain the same or slightly bigger size of the team rather than heavily invest into recruitment and utilize the resources that we have better, of course.
Makes sense. Charles, a little bit about the platform and how you all are at yoummday, managing workforce shift scheduling.
For us, I think it's a little more easy. It all happens in one place on our platform. We have our shift schedule there. Basically, the whole project from beginning to end over our platform. So from the signing of the talent until theoretically an exit. But in between, obviously, the middle point is the scheduling. Really intuitive, very, very easy to use for everyone. You can add and take out shifts per drag and drop. It's very easy to get a good overview about the capacities. Very easy to plan. Also here, maybe a small insight from this airline project that we've been managing now for a year. Our client came to us and had the need, both in the evening shifts, but especially at night, to have additional support. And at this stage, we were only working, I think it was something like 7 in the morning till 2400 were our service times. And they requested how long would it take? Would it be possible? Could you implement this? We were actually able to implement a 24-hour service in the space of 72 hours. With everything, the whole scheduling, the whole planning, but also the reporting end of things, payment end of things, and obviously have our talent pool in there. Also shows again the motivational topic. Exactly, just one of the examples.
Fantastic. No, that's great. Great insight. So, as we started this conversation about let's take the top three, we sort of weaving into those things that make sense. It's about people and recruiting and making sure they're happy because we all know that happy talent make happy customers, which is what we're all after. We talked a little bit about technology and how it's important to help us with scheduling and also attending to customers. So, what about a little bit more about the human connection? Sort of there's a combination of the human need to talk to our guests and travelers, and also driving that lifetime value of the customer. You talked a little bit about quality earlier, right? And so just talk a little bit more about the human connection, the importance of that. What do you think, Kasha? You want to go first a little bit? We talked about this the other day as we were sort of preparing how important this is.
Yes, of course. So that also brings me back to what I mentioned before in regards to ChatGPT. So we can respond quickly, and that's definitely something that can improve efficiency. But when it comes to human aspect and human touch, I think this is something that could never be replaced. And this is something that has been very striking to me, probably also for Kate, as we were working before in last mile delivery sector. So that was aiming always to eliminate any kind of hotline or human interaction, just like only being focused on the speed of response. And I think that in property management, this is something that could never be replaced because all the travelers are always searching for human touch, for this emotional aspect. Because as we consider that also holidays, for some people are being planned for maybe once in the year. And that means also if anything goes wrong, they also need this special support and this understanding. So we are also investing a lot into the soft skills of our agents. And Kate has recently been very much involved into lots of training sessions aiming to improve the soft skills.
Fantastic. That's fantastic insight. Kate, any other additional insights you want to talk a bit about? Secret sauce?
The secret sauce. Yes, definitely. So again, I think that the travel industry is a very special one in terms of customer service at what customers in that area expect. So if you're a traveler and you go to a completely new city on a new country, and you book a hotel, for example, you have a reception desk, you can always go there, ask a question. But if you do book a property, you kind of don't have any human interaction with anyone. So your host turns into that human touch, let's say in a foreign place, in a place where you might need advice. That really, I think that the human is the best option here. And in terms of ChatGPT, I think at this point it's almost a cliche, but I do believe in this, that ChatGPT and all the AI is not here to replace humans. It's here to help us. And actually what we want is talent that knows how to utilize it, that is very, very tech savvy and can make use out of it, rather than be afraid of it. So this is our let's say mindset at GuestReady, and we're definitely for that human interaction. And we have seen that certain situation at this point, AI is not there yet to be able to support any maintenance or cleaning issues, for example. That would have been great, but it's not there yet. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess the day of the drone cleaner maybe is somewhere in the future. Who knows, right? Charles, this sort of falls. Thank you both. Charles, this sort of falls into like you make my day, right? And so it's all about people and the talent, which I love that yoummday calls it the team talent versus agents or call center agents, because it's about talent. Just a little bit of color, Charles, from your side around the human touch.
Absolutely. I totally go along with Kate and Kasia there. ChatGPT is great, but it can't, or AI in general, it can't replace the human interaction, especially if we have an industry here like the travel industry where we have a lot of emotions. And if things do go wrong, you need a person to set it right. To just ravel it up a little, we also take a very structured approach. We have dedicated trainers, we have a dedicated quality analyst. We have our team leads who are very, very well trained. This is one part, the structural approach. We have very high quality results. We maintain these quality results also during these ramp ups. That's the one part, but I think the actually more essential part is, as easy as it sounds, happy talents make happy customers. our talents are, and here I can give you a number. We had an internal NPS in the fourth quarter of 89, which is an extremely high value. Really shows how happy the talents are in our projects in general, but specifically in this project. And that really reflects, if you're speaking to a happy person on the phone, it's just there's nothing much you can change there. If the person is unhappy, you can bring in as much structure as you like. You're not going to really get that last touch, and I think that's really what we're here for, enabling this. And to bring back to what I said in the beginning, what Klaus said in the video, payment is obviously also an essential part, and the way we work with the talents, and that really does reflect at the end of the day in the interaction with the customer. And that's something that can't really, in my opinion, be at any time replaced by an AI.
It's all about the pulse. It's all about the heart and the pulse. I totally agree, and that's what makes this great. So look, we're wrapping up. Probably one last quick thing. How important is this to reviews? Let's face it, we all live by reviews. I'm sure we all look at reviews of most everything we do today. Tell me the importance. So we've talked about the surge. We've talked about people. We talked about technology and the pulse and people. Like, how does this affect reviews? How important is this to reviews? I say it. Let's go first. Kate.
Sure, we're all about reviews at GuestReady. And maybe just to give a little of context, why is it so important to us? So on one hand, we serve, of course, owners of properties that work with GuestReady, and on the other hand, for them, what we provide as a service is support to the guests that are staying in their properties. So there is this interconnection between both sides and us in between. So if we don't provide proper support to the guests that are staying in the properties, they would leave a negative review. Then the owner would see that review and they would not be very happy with that, for obvious reasons. So really the guest experience, and it's also in our company name, GuestReady, we're all about the guest. We really need to focus on making their experience excellent in every stage of their journey during their travel, from the booking to any cleaning, maintenance, and then the final human touch where they could contact us and talk to us. So reviews are very, very important to us. The approach that we take here is, of course, to make sure that we have talent that is ready to solve any situation remotely. If not possible, to be able to properly escalate, analyze the issue so that somebody else can solve it for the guest. And finally, we also have a team that we call Guest Happiness. And this is really the very proactive team that reaches out to guests based on their moods according to some tools that we use, making sure that before you get to the point where you need to contact us or to leave that review, that we solve the issue for you and we proactively approach you. So this is how important it is for us. And yeah.
I don't know what else you could say to that, right? Like that's spot on, exactly. I think we all sort of agree with a thumbs up or a head nod, right? So I want to be respectful for time. Give quick any last points you want to make. We'll move on. We want to do a quick little platform demo and maybe leave a minute or two for questions from the audience. Anybody have any closing statements, thoughts? Okay, well, thank you for the insight. It was great. We talked about a lot of topics. We hope to do more of this as well. So thank you for your time, and we'll move on to next. So thank you very much, everybody, and we'll do a quick demo of the platform. Wow. Neil, those who don't know Neil Barton, that was amazing. I wonder if he did that in one take, actually. So way to go, Neil, and that's a great demo. All right, so we have a couple of questions that come in. How do you undergo training at GuestReady? Is it online, in person, combined? That's one of the questions that came in from the audience.
Yeah, maybe I can address that. So at GuestReady, of course, we have a onboarding training program. So whenever we recruit new talent and we onboard them, we have a very extensive training program that can happen either in person or online. Of course, we're adapting now with the with the modern day workforce being more and more willing to work from home rather than from the office. So our training program is designed in a way that it can work both in in-person and online environment. So we have a lot of activities, of course, making sure that whenever we have the training online, it is not too content heavy or let's say knowledge heavy. A lot of interaction. We also incorporate on-the-job training and some shadowing. Then apart from that, we have more reactive or proactive training, let's say, which is our upskilling training whenever we have new product developments, process updates, anything that new that needs to be shared. We make sure that we provide proper training to our talent so that they're able to do their job effectively at any point.
So just maybe addition to that question is as you're having these scaling efforts, we have to maybe double the amount of agents to train. Does it take longer? Do you have to shorten that training curve in order to make sure you hit the spikes and calls for activity?
Definitely, yes. So this is a challenge here. So since our training program takes around 2 weeks, whenever we have to recruit more people, it can be very taxing on our trainers that have to be there in person and deliver the training. What we try to do, of course, is make the training groups bigger. So rather than recruit 2 people next week and the week after that, we try to combine them into one batch. It's also better for the group to be more interactive and more engaging. This is one way that we try to address this issue. And apart from that, whenever we have to scale fast, what we do is we split it up. So they would be trained on a certain, let's say, level 1 inquiries. And after that, they would receive level 2 training where they will be trained on extra activities or extra skills. So we kind of like split it out. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. Super fantastic. Any other questions that we may have from the panel or outside from Chris? Anybody? Charles, anything you want to add to on the training side? Obviously, your teams are all remote training. And any other commentary?
Absolutely. I think that's maybe one thing to add. I don't know how it is in your case, Kate, but for us, everything's remote, decentralized. Our talents sit at their own location. And we also have a very interactive training now for this airline project. It's relatively long. Obviously, it's highly individual. Whatever the client wants from us. In this case, it's quite drawn out. It's 6 weeks training and afterwards a coaching. And yeah, especially in this remote setup, obviously you need to add in a little more interactiveness. They also have quite a few tests to really draw on the results. And as mentioned, we have dedicated trainers. We actually have a whole dedicated training department that ensures that training is conducted, and we're at the absolute maximum standard, which is obviously necessary. Again, obviously, I don't want to draw on this point too often, but obviously our talents through the motivation, to the motivational aspect, that definitely helps in training too.
Makes sense.
Very low attrition,
Makes
very high
sense.
happiness, and a good success rate. Exactly.
Great. Okay, look, we're a little bit over time. I appreciate the questions. More importantly, I appreciate the panel here today. You all were amazing. You provide some great insight. It really comes down to people. People. They're important because we're all interacting with it. People appreciate your time today. Any parting last words? If not, we'd like to do this again sometime. And thank you, the audience, for attending today. And we look forward to the next time. Good luck on planning for summer season that's right upon us. And hopefully we don't get too many disruptions. But if we do, it sounds like you all have it right in play and will be prepared to take on what's coming your way. So have a great summer, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you very much.